Hey there, I'm with Seth Watson, the CEO and founder of Arete Pest Control, and today we're going to be talking about pest control in Draper, Utah. So the first thing I'd like to ask you, Seth, is what are some of the most common pests in Draper, Utah?
Yeah, so it's depending on the season, Danny. I think the spring, summer, we're dealing a lot with ants. Then we transition into spiders are more heavy, especially in Draper where you're up against the Wasatch Mountains there. We'll get a lot of calls for stink bugs. But as it gets into the colder months, mice is a big issue that we deal with in Draper.
Okay, cool. Tell me about stink bugs. Is that something people should be worried about?
Yeah, no, I think stink bugs or Boxelder bugs is what they're commonly known as. Problem with those are they're not dangerous. They're more of a nuisance. They're going to come on, usually it's the west side of your house where the sun hits, okay? And we can spray your house and we can treat them, but you got to remember they're coming in off of the trees and the foliage and the plants. So we use a special treatment where we'll use a systemic that gets into the plants that they're eating. So as they eat the plants, it doesn't harm them. It's actually good for the plants, but it does attack those bugs' immune system that are on it. So you have to know what you're doing to get rid of them, but not dangerous. It's more of a nuisance because they will come in by the hundreds or thousands on the side of your house. In fact, we just had a brand new home. I mean, it's a beautiful 10,000 square foot home. We work
Wow.
with some builders and they called and he sent me these pictures and he's like, Seth, this is a brand new home. He's like, how do we have hundreds of these, right? And they built it up against the mountain. And so we had to come in and treat some of the foliage and trees around the area with what's called a systemic. Like I said, it gets into the plants, and so as they eat those, it attacks those. And then we really focus on the sunny side of the house because they like the heat, so they'll fly to that sunny side, so we have a barrier when they get on there. We treat it. And then you got to find nesting zones, right? Is it up under the siding or under the stucco? Are they against the foundation and the footings of the house? And so it's not just a simple spray. You have to know what you're doing, otherwise you'll never combat them.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then talk to me about mice. So maybe now we're entering later in the year. It's now becoming winter. What do people need to know about mice and how to prevent them?
Yeah, the best way to prevent mice is to make sure your house is sealed up. So if I walked around your house, okay, your AC unit that's on the side, those that come in, remember a mouse only needs less than an eighth of an inch to get into your house. So we're talking less than the size of a dime, right? And so
Wow.
when I look at those lines, are they sealed up? Are they foam where they're just going to chew through and get through, or do we need to put, maybe some caulking or something like that? The weather stripping around your doors, are those secure? We live up against the mountains. We're always going to have mice, and that's fine as long as they're on the outside. But we do want to control the population. So I love getting, with our service, some bait boxes around the outside of the house. We fill those with the rodenticide. We have a key to it, so we're the only one that's going to get into it. It has a weight in there, so your dog, kids, and things can't move it and get into it. And so we're going to keep it as safe as we can. But yeah, I would say controlling those and making sure your house is sealed up is going to be your best solution. In fact, a couple months ago, start of winter calls, we get a friend calls me and says, hey Seth, my sister has mice, can you come and help her? And I says, yeah, happy to go out. So we go out there and we see clearly where they're coming in the house and say, hey, listen, we've got to trap the ones that are in here and then let's seal it up and let's get some bait boxes. And she said, hey, I'll do it myself, a one-time thing. And we're like, hey, I really suggest you get multiple treatments here. And she says, no. I said, okay, we'll seal it up. You're in charge of the mice. Don't call me if, you're getting overrun by mice. That's kind of what we agreed to. I get a call the next day. She says, Seth, we've caught 25 mice in our house. She had no clue. She says, what do I do? I said, well, we kind of went through this. We've got to get a program where we're controlling them around the outside so they're not just a highway inside and out. So we went outside, took back out, we took care of her. We got some bait boxes so we can control the population, sealed up the proper places. And so, yeah, you're going to get micey. It doesn't matter how clean you are or what. It's just they're in the area, especially in Draper. And so let's just make sure we get a control the population and make sure we have the house sealed up properly.
Yeah, dang, that is a crazy story.
Yeah.
If someone's, maybe dealing with mice or ants or whatever, they just want to be safe and they actually want to contact you beforehand, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, AretePestControl.com is going to be your best source. You'll find our phone number. You can get us on Google My Business, email us, text us, whatever's easiest for you. We've made all those resources possible.